Benjamin Franklin was not just one of the founders of the United States of America, he was also a founder of a social psychology technique which was later named after him. It's a really quite clever technique because it's really difficult to realize that you are just being influenced. And it's all quite simple because all you have to do is to ask another person for a favor. Something we usually tend to think, well, it's probably not good to do so because maybe the other person will think bad of us. So what exactly did Benjamin Franklin do? Well, in a moment I will read from his autobiography, but first we have to know that he had struggled with another member of parliament who always voted against him. So whenever he had an idea which he was fighting for, the other guy said, no, this is crap, we will do something else. So it was a political opponent, and Franklin was thinking about how he could turn him around to make him his friend. So therefore he did the following. And now I quote, "Having heard that he had in his library a certain very scarce and curious book, I wrote a note to him, expressing my desire of perusing that book and requesting he would do me the favor of lending it to me for a few days. He sent it immediately, and I returned it in about a week with another note, expressing strongly my sense of the favor. When we next met in the house, he spoke to me, which he had never done before, and with great civility, and he ever after manifested a readiness to serve me on all occasions, so that we became great friends, and our friendship continued to his death." So by asking his political opponent for a favor, he turned him into his friend. As a psychologist and as a scientist, of course, we would say, well, this is just an anecdote. It's just a case study with only one participant. So this is not really solid science. But interestingly, of course, there is some evidence that suggests that this would really work. Take, for example, a look at a study by Jecker and Landy, in which participants had the possibility to earn some money for participating in an experiment. But after the experiment, the experimenter said, well, I'm running out of money. Would it be okay if you give me the money back? So the experimenter asked to do him a favor, just like Benjamin Franklin did. And in one control condition, they were not asked for a favor. In another condition, they were asked by another also to give the money back, but this time for the institution, because the institution would be running out of money. Later on, when asked how much sympathy they would have for the experimenter, it could be shown that those participants who actually did him a favor and gave him the money back, they much more often said that they liked him more. So it really seems to work, at least with small favors. And one of the reasons, of course, is cognitive dissonance. If we do somebody a favor, we of course also ask ourselves, well, why did I do him the favor? Why did I give him all the money back? So, I mean, I was just working to get all the money, now I'm giving it away. So there must be quite a good reason to do so, and in our mind, we try to rationalize it by saying, well, probably it was because he was a nice guy. And that's probably the same with Benjamin Franklin. Probably his political opponent just thought, well, why did I give him the book? Well, maybe he's not that bad as I thought. And I guess in this story, by the way, is also another factor, which was that when the political opponent realized that Franklin was also interested in the same book, he probably thought, well, maybe he's much more similar to me than I thought. And as we've seen in other studies, as soon as we get the impression that somebody is quite similar to us, we also tend to like him much more. So in everyday life, these results tell us that whenever we feel afraid of asking somebody for a favor because we think, well, maybe afterwards he will think bad of me. This doesn't seem to be the case, at least for small favors. Usually the other person likes us more afterwards. And this is especially interesting, I guess, for all people who sometimes struggle with social anxiety, who struggle to make contact. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you want, we will see